I'm Marah Johnson. We're at the Creative Imaginations booth at CHA. And I wanted to show you some of our new products. We're really excited. We're releasing ATCs, and these are just a couple of them. They are pre-printed ATC cards with some super cute little embellishments that you can use to quickly put an ATC together if you haven't done it before. Or if you want to get a little crazy, and if you know me, I have to paint and can't leave well enough alone. So we have these awesome die cuts. The die cuts are actually printed with the resist, so the black resists any water-based paint that you might have. And I will go ahead and paint the umbrella. Kind of excited because if you love the twinkling H2Os, we are also using now silks, which is an acrylic form of the twinkling H2O, so kind of sort of has the same feel. So you can see it has that same glittery mica beautifulness, but it is in an acrylic base. So that means anywhere you've been able to paint with acrylic paints, you can now paint with your Luminart. So this is also a glaze, and a glaze means that this is going to go on as a sheer color. That way you're able to go ahead and layer color after color, and you can see just how amazing that is. And we call it silks because it literally goes on like silk. When you feel it on your paintbrush, actually how smooth it is. So I'm going to go ahead, take a little bit of this. We're going to burst that bubble there. No pun intended. We're going to go ahead and paint. You can see it really stays on the brush. It's nice and thick. And even though it looks so thick, it actually goes down perfectly smooth. I don't mind that it goes a little bit out of the lines. I kind of like that, but if you know me, right, I'm never coloring in the lines. That's the way it goes. So I'm actually going to cover most of this whole thing. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm going to show you how it looks very thick in there, right, almost opaque. And I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like to keep layering up color. It's kind of like having texture, but without adding the lumpy bumpy. It's still going to feel like there's texture, and it looks like there's texture, especially after it dries, because once the wet is gone and you're not fighting with the water for the sparkle, and you're just having the light and the mica, it becomes this whole new thing. And I'm actually going to get a little nuts and actually paint the entire thing. I know, stepping way out of the box right here. I'm going to use a little bit of nutmeg. Wait, you know what I have to do to make it really cool? Let's turn it over so they can really see some of the colors. Hopefully it picks up how beautiful that is. Pickle 2 Harvest Soul, I absolutely love. It truly looks like an autumn sunshine. And right about now, I'm sure many of you all over the place are wishing we had a little bit more sunshine. So we're going to paint with some of it. And no, I didn't rinse my brush. Don't tell anybody. And we're going to just put this sheer color right over it. And as you can tell, you can see some of the red right underneath. I'm just going to keep going. And I chose this with the black, not because it's going to resist, but because I'm proving to you that now this, where it would have been had we done it with the H2Os, which I'll do a real quick one with the H2O to show you the difference. This means you can paint over any glossy surface. Okay? I'll even go so far as to do a little bit of this right on my mat. You can see you can paint on the mat. So that means you should be able to paint on anything that has gloss. So in class, we were painting on magazine covers and magazine paper, which is high gloss, and you normally shouldn't be able to paint on something glossy. So to take the frustration out of it, and you still have that beauty of the twinkling H2Os, you do it here. Now, put this away. I'm gonna pull this aside, let this dry, and I just want to show you a little bit of the difference. So for example, this one where the black doesn't look so crisp because it sticks to the gloss, right? But when we come to do this one, so this has a lot of black print, we're gonna go ahead, need clear water, we're gonna go ahead, we'll get this wet. Water is your friend with Luminart. Don't forget that, you always have lots of water, err on too much water rather than not enough. And we'll go ahead and just cover it over here, and you can see how it bubbles right off of the black? Where instead with the other product, it's stuck to it. Does that make sense? So far so good. And it's only covering in, probably the wrong size brush, but it's just, it's really for the point. All right, like so. Go ahead, show you a paper towel. We'll maybe do some detail. And you can see, again, where it beads away from the black. Now if I wanted to cover right over and prove to you, brand new. They want to get in on that one. Summertime, in the wintertime. It's a beautiful thing right there. So what we'll do is just to prove the point how the water, it beaded away from the gloss. With this one, we can actually tint it and it'll stay right on top. See how it stays on top? It doesn't go away. It becomes one with anything that's glossy, slick surface. It will go on fabric, it will go on leather, it will go on, you name it. You can hold it still, you can probably paint it. So anyways, there you go. Alright. And hopefully we will get to see what everybody makes with their twinkling H2Os, with their silks, with their ATCs. At the next show, I want to see a lot of people bringing their ATCs to the booth to show us. That's quite beautiful. The other beautiful thing about doing ATCs, there's no rules, so I can color outside the lines as much as I want. On that note, have a great rest of the show. Thanks for stopping by.